Hi everyone. This is episode 2 of Marginally Improving Chats, and it's currently, let me check, 2:50 a.m., 23rd of April 2025. Basically, it's the night of the day I got my CFA level 3 results. And it's just a reflection of my life in general rather than just the CFA level 3 results that came out. Firstly, I just want to say that I'm really sorry that I didn't upload a podcast episode this week, but that was also mainly due to the fact that I knew my results were gonna come out on Tuesday. So I wanted to reflect on that, upload this video, and then go ahead with the podcast episodes. In fact, I did film one today afternoon, so I'll be editing that and I'll be uploading that next. But until then, I want to upload this video. And this is just a casual, raw, unfiltered, just me talking straight to the camera video. And it's just me reflecting on my life after um, the results came out today. And for most people, it might not mean much, but for me, it's a big milestone, and I'll explain exactly why. For this, I'll probably have to go back to early childhood. And back then, like let's say until the age of 6 or 7, I was always told that I was a super smart kid and I did well in exams in school. But then again, that's only till like second grade. So it didn't really mean much, but my parents and my family were still very proud, as far as I can remember. Then in 2008, we moved homes. I went to a new school, and the environment completely changed for me. It was an international school, super fancy school, one of the best in Mumbai, probably one of the best in India. And there was a huge social change for me, and I was pretty young. So for me to adjust and accommodate to the environment was pretty difficult. And I feel like that is what caused a lot of problems for me because I felt like I had to balance two different worlds. I would say I was or still am from like an upper middle class family, so I'm very privileged. But in this school, most of the friends, most of the peoples I met, they were the kind of people that I couldn't really relate with. And due to that, my behavior changed a lot. The way like when I look back, I can say that I was a super stubborn kid. Um, I wanted what I wanted. Like, I would demand things that probably um, a normal kid wouldn't. Like, I would see things that other students have in school, my friends, and I would, of course, envy that. Any kid would. And I would compare myself to them, and I would literally cry in front of my parents until I got what I wanted. And they were amazing parents, they still are, and they got me and gave me everything that I ever wanted. In fact, I even remember some moments back in school where I was embarrassed because, like, the car that I used to come in versus the cars that others used to arrive in. So I used to tell my driver, hey, stop earlier so that I could walk to the school so that people didn't see the car that I got out of. And looking back, I can see how much that had affected me mentally. But back then, of course, I was a kid and I was just doing what came to my head first. Regardless, the dynamic changed completely for me, and for me to adjust was very difficult, as I already said. And that affected my performance in academics as well. So I wasn't the best student, wasn't the smartest. Although my parents still believed I was pretty good parents, my family, they were always there supporting me. And yeah, I can tell you that I, if not average, I was probably worse than average. I'm not sure as a student there. At least from my perspective, until grade 12. So, like, until I was graduating. So, from grade 3 to grade 12, I spent 10 years in that school. And I just want to let everyone know that my parents have tried to and have given me the best that they could, because they themselves don't have any amazing um, like education. In fact, my mom can't speak English too well, even my dad's always learning, so it was always difficult for me. My sister was the one who would always come to the parent teacher meetings, because she would understand things better, and my mom would just join in. And my mom probably felt shy to just come there by herself, because she wasn't too comfortable with English and etc. So, yeah, that's the kind of education my parents had, but they still managed to put me in one of the best schools in India, which I'm very happy for and I'm proud of. So, I always respect them. But I always felt like a failure in a way, because it felt like my parents have done so much for me and I'm not doing well in academics. I can't give back to them in any way. And so there was always a pressure from home that they had high expectations, whereas I was struggling in terms of figuring out how I fit in to this new kind of environment and also performing well academically. So that was very difficult for me. Other than that, I don't really want to point out particular teachers or like professors, but there were many moments where I felt embarrassed, shy. These are just words which can't even explain how I felt. But I still remember certain projects at school. Let's say a very simple project, I think it was back in fourth grade. It was basically something to do about like backpacks. I think the project was like about Dora the Explorer's backpack. And I was overthinking the project so much. It was a basic homework, to be honest. But when I got back home, I probably told my sister, hey, I need help with this project or whatever, because I had no clue what backpack meant. And when she searched on Google to prove to me that, hey, a backpack is simply a bag that you wear, I would say, no, there's no way. Why would my teacher give me a homework about backpack? Why would they call it backpack? It should be called a school bag. It should. So in my head, I couldn't accept that a backpack was basically a school bag. I thought it was meant something completely different. And it just goes to show like how the kind of overthinking I had from a very early age. So this was probably when I was like 9 years old. And I kept on questioning myself and my sister and everyone around me, and I was like, no, it can't be that simple. Just because the word backpack was not in my vocabulary. And there were many other instances like that. In fact, let's say for 11th and 12th grade for IBDP, when we had to choose our subjects, we had to pick 3 HLs, which are 3 higher level subjects, and 3 SLs, which are 3 standard level subjects. And I was struggling to find my third HL, because what happened was I had a group of friends, and I just followed the herd. Because I had no clue what I wanted to do. I was never clear on it. And they basically said, hey, I'm interested in business. That's what I want to pursue. So I was like, sure. I also love business, just to be on the same page. So I picked business management and economics as my HL. Thankfully, I didn't have to struggle much to get them. But for my third HL, I had to struggle a lot. HL as in, again, higher level subject. And for that, I went to many different teachers. I think I went to my English teacher, and she basically mocked me or criticized me so hard that she said, there's no way I'm giving you HL. And in fact, when she ticked on giving me English as SL, on the side she left a note saying, will struggle even in SL. And I can remember it very vividly. And there's also psychology, which was a new subject that was introduced. I'm not sure if they offered it in HL or SL. Regardless, I wanted to get that, but I was told, hey, you don't have the prerequisite subjects to get it. Again, which goes to show you that how certain situations can demotivate you. I was basically begging and pleading to get my third HL, and I couldn't study what I wanted to, such as psychology. And I finally somehow managed to get physics HL, which at the end I didn't perform too well in, because of course that wasn't my forte. I wasn't too great at it. But I managed to get through IBTP. I passed, not with flying colors, but I passed. So that's what's important. And after that, even when it came to choosing my university, I think I applied to like 4 universities in total. Thankfully got accepted in all because my counselor was good. And she suggests, so basically there were 3 in Canada, 1 in the UK, and she just suggested the one in the UK. And I had no guidance from anyone else. Couldn't go to my parents because they wouldn't know much. At that point, I think even my siblings didn't know much. So I just went ahead with the counselor's choice and with my gut feeling. I was also happy to go to London, so that's what I decided. And yeah, went to London, did my graduation, started my graduation, BBA. And over there, I met so many people from so many different backgrounds that I finally started to find myself, and I changed myself a lot. Because earlier, as I said, I was super stubborn, but when I saw so many different people from different backgrounds there, my EQ improved, and I could tell how different people behave and where they come from and why they behave the way they behave. And then certain subjects I picked there helped me understand life better. Other than that, over there I picked finance as my major, and it was one of the most absurd decisions in a way, but also the most straightforward decisions, because logically when I thought and when I spoke to people, in my head it was like finance is a hard skill and other subjects such as, let's say, marketing or just general business are more soft skill. Like in my head it was like no one can really teach me marketing. If I'm creative, I'll be good at marketing. If I'm not, I won't. Whereas finance is something I can learn. Like someone will have to teach me. It won't just naturally come to me. And so I felt like to make the most out of university, I should just go ahead with finance. So that's what I did. Picked finance, stuck to it. And yeah, unfortunately in 2020, it was a pandemic, COVID-19. Had to come back home, graduated online. So again, I couldn't really do much with my degree because I graduated online. I was stuck in Mumbai. And after that, it was just one of my cousins who one day was like, hey Nandan, you've done your BBA in finance. Why not try CFA? At this point, I had no clue what CFA was. I just remembered that, oh, some of my teachers or some of my professors back in uni had the 3 letters called CFA at the end of their name. And so my cousin just told me, hey, let me look at your coursework. She looked at my coursework and she was like, yeah, I think you can go for CFA. It's pretty good. And she was doing it at that point. So I was like, sure, because I had nothing else to do. It was the pandemic. And I just started studying for CFA. No clue what it was. So I didn't naturally have an interest towards it, but I just went for it. So I wasn't, of course, we all know already, not super smart. I just stayed consistent, followed her directions, gave the exam, passed level 1. And I studied for months, by the way. Studied for months and passed the level 1. Then I wanted some practical experience because I was tired of studying. So I got a new job. And then I tried to study my CFA level 2 along with the job. And at this point, I had a good sense of finance, of course, with CFA level 1. And I had a better sense of what I wanted. Also, I'm very grateful for my first job because no one really offers you a job. It's a struggle. So I'm very grateful to get that. I learned a lot there as well. And I tried to do CFA level 2 along with my job, but I couldn't. So I decided to leave my job and focus on CFA level 2. Again, this shows how privileged I am because so many people out there in the world cannot afford to leave the job and focus just on studying. Whereas my parents were super supportive, my family was super supportive. My cousin who told me about CFA was super supportive. She was like, leave your job, focus on the CFA. You have to work for the rest of your life anyway. Why not just get done with studying for now? Contemplated it for a while and I was like, sure, let's do it. I studied for CFA level 2, worked hard, not gonna lie, worked hard, stayed consistent, passed the CFA level 2 exam. Then I decided let's just do level 3 as well. Rather than going and working and let's get back to level 3, and did that and passed the exam today, like less than 12 hours ago, which was an amazing feeling. But then again, just a disclaimer to everyone, when the only thing you're doing in life is studying and nothing else, no job, you don't have an excuse. If you're only studying, you have to pass the exam. In fact, I had to skip many weddings as well to focus on my studying for CFA level 2 and level 3, even level 1 probably. So there's a lot of pressure that, hey, this guy's only been studying for months, he has to pass. Like, and so if there was any way that I failed, that was a huge pressure. And in fact, as I said, I come from a family where, especially in my dad's side, like the paternal side, no one has really completed a charter or standardized exam, like a completely. They've done it halfway and everything. On my mom's side, maternal side, there still have been people who've done that. So academically, my genetics aren't that strong, but everyone's always supportive. So there's a phrase that I came up with in my head, like, education is really valued in my family, but it's not enabled in my family. For example, let's say they would love it when I pass the exam. But when I'm studying for it, if there's any social events, let's say if there's a wedding, if there's anyone's anniversary, birthday, or if guests are coming home, my parents are like, hey, we can't say no. We have to be at the wedding. We have to be at the birthday. We can't say no to guests. They will come home. We will accommodate them, which is amazing. They're very caring about people. They're very social. But it directly conflicts with me trying to study. It always got in the way and it bothered me. And when you skip weddings, people always think like, hey, he's been skipping weddings, he has to pass the exam. So that pressure's there. Plus, education wasn't enabled, but it was valued. So I had to pass one way or the other. Like, there was a lot of pressure in that way. Regardless, I'm super privileged as well that I can do it. Study months on months without worrying about earning. So yeah, I passed the exam today, finally, CFA level 3. And to be honest, I do feel relieved in a way. Cause now it feels like a huge burden's off my shoulder. It's not like I'm super happy, but it's like I proved something to myself. Because as I told you, I've been struggling for in terms of academics when I was in school, and my self confidence was like down. It was plummeting. University helped, and CFA surely helped. More than my finance skills, of course, my finance skills grew, and of course, I had an interest in finance because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be able to successfully complete it. So, of course, my finance skills are also improved, but it also helped me in terms of regaining my self confidence. And it's sad in a way that I had to achieve something externally to make myself feel better about myself. In fact, I feel like if the results didn't come out positive for the exam, maybe I wouldn't even make this self reflective video because I'd feel like, hey, I don't deserve to have an opinion on this because I didn't succeed, which is very sad. But here we are. I passed the exam. So now I feel like I deserve to reflect on it and I deserve to send this message out to people. But I hope no one else goes through like such low self confidence levels or doubting themselves. Or I hope that others don't feel like they have to prove themselves by passing an exam, um, just so that they can speak their mind. Yeah. Um, I also want to say that now I'll be looking for work, of course. I passed the exams. And more than looking for work, of course, I know that I want to get into finance. I know somewhat what kind of a role I want. I'm not 100% clear. I know many people are like, this is the role I want, this is what I want to go for. I'm flexible, but I know what I don't want. I know what I'm interested in: equity research, private equity, maybe investment banking, fund management, portfolio management. I know the things I'm interested in. But more than that, what I'm looking forward to is the weekends. Because the weekends are where I can explore my hobbies as well, such as conducting this podcast, speaking to new people, having guests on, learning about them, learning about the things I'm curious about. I can focus again on my health and fitness. I've gained so much weight over the years due to these exams and the stress. I've got grey hair as well, by the way. So I finally want to get back into the routine life, fix my sleep schedule. As I said, it's like 3 a.m. right now. Yeah, so focus more on health, learn more about health and nutrition, which I love to do, learn more about psychology, which I missed the opportunity to learn back in high school, podcast, learn about music production. I want to create music in the future soon. I love football, I love gymming. So, yeah, things related to that, spending more time with my family. So, in a way, passing this exam means a lot more to me than it would probably mean to others. And if you've already seen my Instagram stories that I posted today, you can probably tell how big of a deal it is even for my family and how much it means to them. For most of the people, passing the CFA won't be that big of a deal because for them it's probably just another standardized exam. But for me and for my family, it means a lot more. And I'm happy that I could give back to them in such a way. Because to be honest, I've always felt like I've been a burden so far to them. Because, as I said, for 10 years I was in this super fancy school, super expensive, of course. So they spent so much on my education. After that, I went to university in the UK, had to come back due to COVID, couldn't even find a job there, couldn't make a successful career out of it. Again, it felt like I wasted their money. Now, finally, even for the CFA exams, in fact, which are expensive, my parents are the ones who paid for it. And at the back of my mind, I was always like, I'm a burden. I am so dependent on them. I can't wait for the moment that they can be dependent on me. And now, after passing these exams, hopefully, I can be independent and I could provide for my parents, for my family. Even if they don't need it, I want to. And for my community and for others. And hopefully that way this would help me see myself in a better manner. It'll help me prove myself that I'm worth more than what I thought or what I thought of myself back when I was in high school. So yeah, slowly but surely I'm getting better. I just hope no one else out there has to go through something similar. So if anyone's listening, if you feel like your confidence levels are low, if you feel like you are struggling, I just want to say that I'm here, especially if I know you. Just reach out. Genuinely, I'm not saying just to say it. reach out to me. I'll always be happy to talk to you in any way you want, whether it's guidance or you just want an ear to listen to, or just that you want to share something. I don't know. In any way I can help you, I want to do my best to do that, because I don't want others to go through what I went through, especially the mental part of it. And I don't know how this video is gonna turn out. I don't know how long it is. As I said, it's just raw, me speaking to the camera, just my thoughts poured out loud at like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's not even been 12 hours since the CFA level 3 results came out. Also, I want to thank everyone who supported me, my friends, especially my family and my mentors, for everything that they've done for me. I feel like I've said a few things that some people might not like, including my parents, because the way I describe things. But I feel like it had to be said. It's about time I have to be vulnerable. Maybe nobody comes across this video, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. But even if it helps just one person out, it'll mean the world to me that I could at least affect someone. So yeah, finally I'm being completely transparent, completely vulnerable. Maybe it's too soon, maybe it's not, but I can't wait for what's next. I want to explore the hobbies that I have. I want to bring on amazing guests on this podcast. I want to get a new role in finance, which I absolutely love, which I'll be dedicated to. Don't get me wrong. Monday to Friday, maybe even over the weekend, I'll dedicate myself towards the work, finance, because I enjoy it. But at the same time, I also want to prioritize my hobbies that I've left aside for so long. Because I always thought that I cannot pursue them. I should pick the traditional path, finance, which I do end up enjoying. But yeah, I want to focus on my hobbies as well. Football, podcasting, gymming, health and nutrition, psychology, neuroscience. I love crime and mystery. Maybe I'll be speaking to some policemen, detectives. No clue. I want to get into a lot of those things, and I'm excited. And just know that I'm here for you, for whoever's listening. Yeah, this is me being vulnerable, being open. So I hope all of you would be kind to me as well when you listen to this. And I hope I haven't offended anyone. But yeah, I just thought I should speak my mind, because all of these things have been built up in my mind a lot. And I hope I can finally be independent, and I hope I can make other people dependent on me now, rather than me being dependent on them. I'm almost 25. I think it's about time. And I'm really excited for what's next. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to follow my journey. I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out. I'm not sure if even if I'm in the right frame. But yeah, like frame as in terms of the view of the camera. But yeah, this is me. I think I've said everything I wanted to. That's about it. This is all for this week. I've already recorded a podcast today, so I'll be uploading that probably on Friday or Saturday. And then I think I'm going to record a podcast again, like within this week, before Friday, I'm assuming. So that's going to go on next week. So yeah, I'm trying my best to stay consistent with this podcast while balancing my life. Also gonna start losing weight now, finally, because I need to. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you soon. Bye.